Joey, I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what starting kind of a new season does for you and how you were feeling at the plate at the end of the regular season.
I mean, yeah, you kind of start 0 for 0 again, and I feel like it's every day in the postseason or every at bat, you kind of take it as a new one. Just, I mean, it's like the regular season, but yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Finally getting ready to play here, and yeah, we're ready to go.
Kurt in the middle.
For Sal, sort of the same question, but more on a health aspect. How did you feel with the knee and other things going on toward the end of that regular season?
Yeah, felt fine. Something, battled with kind of the whole year a little bit, but I mean, it's minor. It was a minor thing and kind of act up here and there, but I think that week rest definitely helped out. So it's kind of big being able to get that by, and feels good.
Sophia down on the front right.
For either one of you, just what did you guys get out of this week and having 5 days in between, and now hopefully being ready to go physically, mentally?
Yeah, it was good. I thought Murph and the rest of the staff did a good job just kind of planning out our days, making sure they were competitive, but at the same time making sure guys that needed a day or two to get some rest did. So thought it was a good week just overall, getting some key parts back and making sure we were staying focused.
A few more for these guys. Steve, second row in the middle.
For Joey, y'all had a pretty long winning streak there up until the last week of the regular season on games in which Quinn Priester has pitched. I'm just wondering what kind of confidence y'all have when he takes the mound now these days, and how much fun is he to kind of play behind with the pace he uses as he's pitching?
Yeah, I mean, he threw well all season, especially for an infielder. He's got the sinker and pitches like that. They get ground balls a lot, so he keeps us locked in. And like you said, the pace is going to keep all the guys on defense ready to go and ready to make a play for him. So I think it's the same with every one of our pitchers, actually. I think they attack the zone and do everything they can and keeps the defense locked in and ready to go.
Stay here in the second row.
In years past, we sat up here talking to guys, your predecessors, about how sick they were of hearing about 1982 and writing their own script. How tired are you guys of hearing about playoffs past and just trying to focus on what you guys are trying to do now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, at least everyone in the clubhouse, I don't think we hear too much about it. I'm sure on social media and stuff like that or whatever, the media might say stuff, but really haven't heard anything about past playoffs in the clubhouse. I mean, guys are pretty focused, so we're not really looking around to that external noise. So, yeah, for the most part, I haven't heard much.
Back to Kurt in the third row.
You guys faced Matthew Boyd a few times this year, but specifically that, I think it was a July start here where you guys took a bunch of walks, hit him around pretty good. What did you learn, or what can you take from that game that you could carry over to this, or is it everything out the window?
Yeah, I mean, like, both, I guess, right? Like, especially when you're playing a team in your division where you see these guys multiple times. You've seen Boyd a few times. Like, first time we faced him this year is different from the second time we faced him this year. Right? Like, they're making adjustments just as much as we are based off last starts and scouting reports and whatnot. So, I mean, you obviously build a scouting report just as they're doing against us. But, I mean, got to watch the game from inning one and just see how it progresses, and could be abandoning ship based on what he's throwing or, sticking to it. So we'll see.
Back to Adam.
Maybe, but for either of you, for both of you, a scout told me this week that what he likes about your team is you have a clear identity. And I'm wondering, I think, Sal, you've talked about that before, playing with an identity. How would you describe the identity of this club?
I think we play hard, play through 9. We're ready to fight. Doesn't matter what the score is. I think till the last out, we're going to be going hard and getting after it. And at least that's how I see it, that we're going to be fighting till the end.
Anything else for Joey or Sal? Kurt?
Boy, Kurt.
What?
Oh, you're great.
Had to keep you guys in here a little longer. Yeah. We hear oftentimes in this game about like guys sticking to their strengths. I'm curious though, in the postseason specifically, where opponents are going to be game planning more and scouting even more, do you have an extra awareness on what your weaknesses are, and in light of like they might try to attack that even more?
I mean, like, yeah, I think, I mean, as hitters, that you get that every game, right? Like, there's, from opening day to the end of the season, there's weeks of, pitchers only throwing you high fastballs. Then you finally lay off that. Then the next week they're throwing you off speed down. And then you have to lay off that. Like, it's just this chess match throughout the whole year, right? So, the pitchers are going to exploit that. And anytime you show that little bit of weakness at the plate. So, again, I don't think it's something that they're going to be able to game plan for. We're going to be able to game plan for. It's really just you go out there, you compete, and, if you have to change the game plan, you got to change it based on how guys are pitching you. But I don't think, it's playoffs, and I don't think it's going to be too drastic.
Stay in the third row, kind of towards the middle on the left side.
Sal, this will be your third postseason. Is there anything specific you can take from your experience in the postseason the last 2 years that you think can help you, just having more experience heading into this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously just, I think the nerves in general, like haven't had 2 postseasons under my belt, just kind of understanding, the atmosphere, the speed of the game, kind of all the emotion that goes into it. So I think it's good. And, Joey as well, haven't played in, postseason. So, and I think most of the guys too, even the young guys on our team that have had that opportunity, just to get a taste of it, what it feels like, should be good.
Any last ones for these guys? All right, appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Murph, we haven't seen your lineup yet. Can you give it to us?
Jesus, Mary, you do this all the time. You did not figure this out?
If you could.
It was out at 8 o'clock this morning. Crew, what do we got?
Not for us, it wasn't.
Huh?
Oh, you just sent it in.
Well, we can give it to these guys early. What are they going to do with it? Most of them don't know baseball anyways. What can they do with it? It's all in jest. This is just fun.
I'm wondering about the top of the lineup with the lefty going for the Cubs.
Guess.
Churio.
Unbelievable. With all your vacation, you're still following us that close. That's beautiful. Yes. Churio. Who's next?
Contreras.
No.
Yelich?
No.
Dickens.
Huh?
Dickens.
Plot thickens.
This is going to be a great transcript.
Churio, Terang, William, Yelich, Vaughn, Frelick, Durbin, Perkins, Ortiz. Guy left already. This is a bad sign. You give like a talk and.
Can I follow just on that?
Yeah,
Let's do the mic,
sure,
so-
man.
Murph, how much did it change things when they named Boyd? Did you sort of sense that one coming?
No, I mean, we thought it was down between a couple guys. It was Assad, it was Colin Ray, or it was Boyd. So we were kind of preparing for all three. And, Boyd's been so darn good for them that I'm not surprised. Threw 58 pitches on their first game, and I know who the individual is, and I was certain he'd be ready.
Murph, we're going to go far
Murph,
left.
it's Mike up here.
Hey, Mike.
I wanted to ask you about a night in Cincinnati in mid-August where you're playing the Reds. It's during the streak, and Monasterio hits a home run in the 11th. He said after the game, I think he told Adam.
Off a lefty, first pitch changeup.
He said that during the game you went to him 3-4 times, like, be ready, be ready. Is that an example of, getting that player's focus ready and then making that, that change against your opponent at the right moment?
So, Mike, I could just say, yeah, it was a great move on my part. But the truth is, I say that to every bench player, almost every game. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's a situation I can see. Hey. So I don't deserve, like some magical, like I had some premonition. It was more about, you go to your bench players and you let them know what might be the situation. Oftentimes, you're not right about it, but at least their heightened awareness of like, yeah, I better go look at that guy. I wish I could tell you, no, I just had a feeling.
Let's go to Kurt, third row in the middle, and then we'll go to Russell in the fourth row.
Murph, on the roster, could you just go into an explanation on Gasser over a couple guys like DL that you picked him over, and then the Hoskins, Lockridge choosing the speed over the potential power bat, and if like the final few weeks
Right.
kind of made that decision for you?
Yeah. Well, the Reese one's very difficult because he has playoff experience. He's been a leader of this team, and it's a tough decision. But we felt like the need for Lockridge, specifically because of his ability to run, steal a base, his proficiency at it, and his ability to play great defense in the outfield and conduct ABs, can't be denied. He went back down to AAA and did a great job. We just think that's a serviceable part. And when you look at the potential changes during the game, we have our first baseman that we're going with in Vaughn. And to carry 15 and 11, which we did look at for a long time, without the guy at second base and extra innings, I think you leave yourself exposed. The decision, the last pitcher decision, came down to the opponent. Looking at left-handed options for them, where can this 12th pitcher exploit something about them or be in a serviceable role, and give us a little bit of length. So we went to that. Things like, have they seen him before? Had things like effectiveness in the role that we'd put him in, so that led to that.
Russell.
Murph, you have an extra off day here that you don't normally have between game one and game two. Does it allow you to do anything differently, maybe be more aggressive in these first couple of games, knowing that you have that built in?
Yeah. The schedule of this 5-game series is the reason you'd look at bullpen way differently. It's different than the regular season. It's the tournament, as they say. I guess that's the word everybody's using. But in the tournament now, you got to take advantage of the off days. And the way you take advantage of it is you can be more aggressive with both teams can be more aggressive with your bullpen.
Because you guys have had so much extra time off than some other teams, do you worry about that in any regard, gearing up for today and then shutting it down tomorrow?
Yeah, it's the number one thing. I called as many people as you can imagine that have done that. Ex-managers, ex-players. What do you got? They're all like, brutal, man. It's brutal. Everybody to the person said, it's not a positive. But for our particular situation, to be honest with you, I think it is a positive in that, and again, if we don't have success, then everybody's like, oh, the layoff, and complain and explain. We knew the rules. We knew how this is. You got to admire the team for having the most wins in baseball. And this is what we got to deal with. And it's the way it is. So complain or explain, doesn't matter. We wanted it to be, the workouts to be uncomfortable and competitive. I think we did that. It's not the same. You can bring fans in, you can play scrimmages, you can do all that kind of stuff. It's not the same. This is a hard game to practice with the same intensity. It's a game that obviously is played every day. So to take that big window of time off, there was a need for rest. There was. Our team was banged up. We limped home. Our September was the worst month of the year record-wise. We limped home. Now you can say we coasted, natural coasting, that because we were ahead and because we couldn't expose certain pitchers, we had so many injuries. But be it as it may, we didn't have a healthy team when we finished the season. So we needed some days. Did we need 5 days? No. But no complaining or explaining.
Go to Steve in the second row.
Just wondering, with Quinn Priester, what's the biggest thing that's impressed you, or what stood out the most from your perspective about the season he's had since y'all acquired him?
Mid-season, I mean, he pitched a game in Colorado, right? Then was his second game against the Cubs?
He pitched twice against the Cubs.
Yeah, but the second game when he got blistered. That was the change. The Cubs blistered this guy, and he wanted to continue pitching, and his competitive nature came out. And he actually, the last couple innings of that outing, was pretty darn effective. And I think that failure, if you will, for him, like launched him into like open ears. Okay, how do I figure this out? And we got the best version of him because of his competitive nature. We got the best version of him going forward, and it's been miraculous. He's been sensational for us. You know, they don't call him a rookie because he has a certain number of appearances, but he's, for all practical purposes, a rookie. And you look at the number of rookie starts we had between Patrick and Miz, Henderson and him, you know, it's most of our season. So it's pretty cool to see this guy come into his own. It really is.
Stay in the second row on the end.
Murph, after kind of the up and down season Miz had, especially in the second half, can you just kind of walk through what went into the decision to roster him here, and then what your expectations are for role potentially in this series, or just how you think he can help you?
Yeah, I think he can help us for sure. I think he will help us. He's not going to start, but he'll come in the game, and he's got great stuff, and he'll hone it in, and I think pitch well.
Go up to Megan in the fourth row.
You had mentioned that you had a pretty good idea of the potential 3 starters they might go with today. You know, Council's known for waiting to announce his starters as long as he can. And just at what point did you find out it was going to be Boyd? And then how much does it help just the familiarity between these two teams that whoever they were going to roll with, you guys have faced?
Yeah, I mean, I found out about Boyd last night late. And again, I mean, I respect this guy a ton as a pitcher and as a person. It's a guy that we were very interested in when before he signed with Cleveland. So we know a lot about him. But familiarity in sports is a common thing, and it really comes down to the moments, being ready in the moments. And I think that, you know, there will be no secrets, you know, how we employ guys. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can deploy them different ways, and because it's playoff baseball, it can be earlier, or, you know, you might have a little more coverage, whatever, but nothing's going to shock us. There's going to have to be decisions made on, do we take this matchup or do we take this one? You know, the Cubs, this first series, we're faced with that, right? I mean, do I do this? Do I do that? And it's part of our game.
Go up to Jared in the middle of the fourth row.
So the Cubs get a lot of attention for their defense, particularly in the Padres series, this wild card series. But I'm curious, from your vantage point, how you would characterize them offensively.
Offensively?
Yeah.
Very mature. You know, a guy like Horner coming into his own, a guy like Bush coming into his own, Suzuki making a jump from last year with the air pull. You know, Tucker's a great hitter. What can you say? PCA, he's young, but he responds. You know what I mean? So from an outsider looking at their team, and I watched a lot of them this year, it's pretty impressive 1 through 9. The Shaw kid coming on the way he is, doing what he's doing. You can see the confidence starting to ooze out of him. Great decision to just leave him in there and, you know, not replace him, and I think. And Dansby's a big-time player, man. He's a big-time player, you know, so I don't know if I covered everybody, but he's been a one-man wrecking crew of us, so we hope to try to contain him in some way. You know?
Go to Kurt and then to Adam in the third row.
Murph, on Boyd, he's a guy that fills the zone pretty well. You guys have a pretty low swing rate. You're a patient offense. I think Counts even yesterday said that you tell the guys not to swing. How do
He
you?
said I do?
Yeah.
He didn't finish that. I tell him, don't swing, jump in front of it, try to get hit by a pitch. When I was a bench coach, he didn't like that. I'd say, hey, man, do your best. It's not your fault. We put you in there. It's not your fault. And if you feel like you got no options, just jump in front of it. But whatever you do, don't swing.
So it lacked a little,
kinda in jest.
lacked a little context, okay.
I
How
do that with Durbin all day.
How do you think your offense is going to strike that balance today of doing what you do well, but not getting too passive against a guy that can throw strikes?
Yeah, well, I mean, the bottom line is you can't get involved in counts with a guy like Boyd. You know, if you get involved with, it's 3-1, I'm going to get a cookie. That doesn't always happen. The guy can pitch a little bit. And the same thing, hey, it's 1-2. You know, I got to swing at anything. No, you know, he pitches on the edges. He's not fine-tuned command. You know what I mean? It isn't Maddox. I mean, he's just really good stuff. Loves the glove side. I mean, you know, it comes down to that pitch, but we're not going to just sit and take, you know? I mean, it's not what we do. We might take more than others because, you know, like I said, we got young guys and it takes them a few pitches to get adjusted.
Murph, one more Mizorowski question. You've challenged a lot of your young hitters and over the last couple of years in a pretty frank way sometimes. Are you able to do that? Are you willing to share if you've done that with Mizorowski?
I think putting him in bases loaded the other day kind of, wouldn't you term that as challenge? You know what I mean? And he actually did the job. He got a swinging bunt. We would have been out of the inning. He broke down after that, but all in all, I think that's how you challenge players. You know, certain guy, you approach everybody a little bit different. I don't certainly have a book on it, you know. Maybe in the next 15 or 20 years I'll get there, but yeah, when I'm 86, I think I get a better feel for it. No, I mean, yeah, we've challenged him in our own way. Maybe not the same way I challenged Durbin, or maybe not the same way I challenged Sal, but I think we've challenged him, yeah.
Staying in that third row, Todd.
Murph, what kind of role do you see for Isaac in this series? And kind of in the final analysis, he was so important for you guys early in the season, leading up through the All-Star break. And what do you think happened with him is in the second half toward the end?
I think, you know, there's players on every team, including the fourth row there on their team, right? Like, there's players on every team that were like, you know? We're in a position where Churio now back healthy, Perkins, elite defender, Collins kind of isn't producing the same way. A lot of it is he had that break with the paternity leave, so, I mean, God bless, that's way more important than baseball. And then when he came back, he just didn't get on track very quickly, and then we pulled him out, and Churio was back, and that all kind of snowballed. Not to his fault, he's still having good ABs. But I think we'll use him off the bench sometimes, and I think he'll start some games. So he's a huge part of this year. One of the most underrated guys on the club.
Murph, we'll take one more up on the top left side here.
Have you talked to
We've
Freddie?
met before, bro.
No.
Tell me we haven't.
Have you talked to Freddie this morning? I know pitchers are very superstitious before big starts like this. Does he seem like he has any different demeanor than he normally would during the regular season, or is this a little bit more for him as well?
He's done it before. Freddie's done this before. I didn't really gauge that. We were just kind of, you know, God, I forgot the word. What's the Spanish word for little guy? Pequeño?
Pequeño, chiquito.
Huh?
Chiquito, pequeño.
Pequeño. So he taught me a new word today, pequeño. And then we just kind of messed with each other. I said, Freddie, you're our closer today. You're our closer. So go out there like you're closing the game. We just joke with each other back and forth.
All right, Mark. Appreciate the time.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.